Okay, ladies and gents, what's up? I'm about to run the heroic escalation once again with no tonics, no consumables. In order to beat the heroic escalation easily this week, what you can actually do is you can run a bastion build. It's actually really simple to beat it with this build. It's actually exactly the same as the reworked chain blade bastion build, but I'm just going to show you how it's done anyway. Pulse cell in your weapons, death blossoms here. You've got your Reaper's Dance as your special. Your mod will be switched to Hurricane Blades, sorry. And Skarn's Malice will be your bond. Okay. Bastion will be your Omni cell right here. Skarn's Defiance with a Zeal cell. Okay. You've got your Time Weave Helm with a Predator cell. You've got your Thrax's Shadow with a Galvanized cell. You have Thrax's Guile with a Galvanized cell. Alright. And you've got your Thunderdeep's Regulators with a Berserker cell right here. And overall, that'll give you a very strong shield style build. Now, what you're going to do with this is that you're basically going to go in right now. Heroic Escalation. Alright. You go in like that. And basically, this is going to make life a lot easier for you. My honest advice in dealing with this particular method of combat is that what you're aiming to do is not take hits and just smash most of the behemoths when you have full shields. Now, this can be a little bit more difficult in heroic escalations, but I think you'll find that you are able to do it, so don't you worry too much. I'm gonna settle all of it now, and I'll show you how exactly we solo the Heroic Umbral Escalation. Okay? Okay. Alright. So we're just going to take a chill time and do this. Like I mentioned, it's very easy to do. Okay, I highly recommend you watch this combat showcase. If you don't want to, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you want to keep it going, please make sure that you do the usual thing of sending a super thanks on YouTube. You can drop a tip, alright? You can become a channel member and get various perks as well. So whatever creature you encounter, even if you take some damage, don't worry, because the escalation more or less comes with some lifesteal included. Alright, I'm assuming you got that passive. If you don't have that passive, you may want more guidance on the escalation skill trees, in which case I guess I'd be happy to provide if necessary. Alright. All you're really doing, very simple. Alright. You just want to stack up as much damage as you can. As and when you can, dodge around the attacks. With the new chain blades, the heavy focus on dodging is relatively easy to work with, so basically you want to slam down and keep slamming down. There shouldn't be a situation where you don't slam down on the enemy, so use that well. Utilize it well. And you don't have to worry about wounding because obviously you're in a heroic. Ow. As you can see, it's a very simple process, but depending on the creatures you encounter, it could take you either more time or less time. Honestly, it just depends. But you should be able to handle this with relative ease. All right. Okay. So yeah, you just have to keep slamming, and of course it's easier to slam now than it used to be because you're not waiting for your 10 stacks. That said, roughly, some people also feel that not waiting for 10 stacks makes, because like you're not using your dodging freely, it might actually be tougher now than it is before. But don't worry even if you go down, because that's what your aggro special is for. It's there to give you a nice little buffer in case things go south. So the key thing is don't panic. Just do what you're used to doing and just keep knocking. Okay, just keep swimming. And the creatures will die. Now that one was unfortunately a Skarn using this build, so not only did I have the elemental disadvantage, but Skarns have enormous amounts of hit points in heroics, so that can be a bit annoying. What I'll usually do is I'll take things like Umbral Form. I'll try not to take things that increase damage because unless you're going to be using Parasitic, which can reduce your overall damage output and make things more difficult for you, I don't recommend actually running... I don't actually recommend running Parasitic, okay? Because it really depends on your build. This one I'm running because I feel that the full offense style is better, and it does have more potential for now. Shield got wiped out. But then again, 2 creatures at once is kind of like that. Your first priority would be deal with one of them, and then you deal with the other. So try and stay focused on that. Me, I'll deal with the Strike over the Shroud because Shroud has more hit points and is a bit of a pain in the ass. Whereas with the Strike, you're mostly just knocking him down. Now if you want to, the perfect time to spam that shield burst is now. But just do be aware that technically speaking, you should not do that if you have trouble surviving. I tend to have less trouble surviving, so I just run with it. Damn. That missed quite badly. That's okay, we've almost got this guy down. Now, if something like that happens, please keep in mind what I said. That is literally what your Agros is for. Use that to bring yourself back, because you don't want to waste time fighting Umbral Balls. It is quite unnecessary. Okay, and once the Shrike is down, you basically regain you've regained your what you call it, your legendary. So now you fight the Shroud in relative peace. Relative peace, I said, because no matter what, you aren't at peace. Now the Shroud is a little bit of a problem, but only because he does high damage relatively, and he causes corruption. But thankfully, unlike the Bloodshot Shroud, he doesn't have a double drop. His is just a single, thankfully, so. If you want a Chain Blade in the Heroic Escalation, please remember this is no longer easy mode. You do have to put in plenty of effort, just like you would with any other weapon. Okay, there's no more easy dodging. I've never been more blessed than the moment I realized we are not fighting a Bloodshot Shroud. Remember, player skill really does play a huge part here, so for a lot of players I do understand why this can be a very frustrating sort of endeavor, I guess. Because here, especially now with the new version of the Chain Blades, things are not as swanky-danky. Okay, more effort is required, because you do need to know behemoth patterns, you do need to know what they can potentially do, and that will overall help your gameplay. So yeah, things are definitely not like before, but they're still manageable and doable, so it's just a matter of managing it your way. And properly dodging through all behemoth attacks is something that'll give you a fairly solid advantage. That, and, you know, assuming Dauntless doesn't bug and completely stop you from knocking something down that should have been knocked down. Alright. Okay, that's another one done. Let's see. Lady Luck's Barrage is gonna be your saving grace. Okay, I hope you're following so far. It's not a difficult process if you know what you're doing. The two behemoth fights are more difficult for soloing, but again, it just comes down to whether or not you know what you're doing, and more to the point, how to solo effectively. I took a risk there because I kind of knew. It would be alright. Okay. Expected that much. There we go. Yes, go, go, go. Barrage his ass. Shit. I'm trying to think even the behemoths are getting screwed over by these hitboxes. Are you okay, Stormclaw? That was one drunk ass hitbox. Okay. Stormclaw thankfully has very little hit points, so we're good to go. Let me see. Bonds of Corruption. If I could get Avatar of Corruption, which grants me immunity to that status, that's the best you can get. It is a must-have. Right now I've got my nice Umbral form, which is good. Now between these two, okay, you can see which one I went for, right? Why? Because this guy's a lot easier to deal with. You have elemental advantage against him, considering these are Terra Blades, and on top of that, he is easier to handle than the Shadow Touch Koshai. Or rather, he is tougher to handle, so the Shadow Touch Koshai should actually be a less of a priority, because while you're handling this guy, you know, you can sort of like ignore the Shadow Touch Koshai. He doesn't really do much. So that's why. He's annoying, but he will not do a whole lot, so. Just as long as you are consistently attacking, you should be fine. Then just keep stacking on your shields. Oh shit, he went Aether charged. Oops. Once again, death is irrelevant. Now, unlike the previous chain blades, I will admit a no death run is a lot harder than it used to be, because old chain blades dodge anytime, anywhere, you know, fly around, turn into Superman, become God, you know, face Goku if you want to. Now, a bit more difficult. Especially because of the way that combat is structured with the chain blades. But it doesn't mean it's completely like impossible to handle. It just requires a bit more skill. And if you have the skill, you're alright. Okay, good. Now I bumped one guy off, now the other. Oh, the Shadow Touch Koshai. What, did they finally fix his tail texture? Interesting if they did. Okay, Shadow Boy. Come on. Oh, he's already on 1/4 health. I literally autopiloted on that fight and zoned out. Blame my allergy meds, but yeah. Okay, come on, Shadow Boy. Stop doing this shit. Then he appears at the other side. Woohoo. Only annoying thing about the Shadow Touch Koshai, he's not difficult or anything. He's very easy. But he is so boring to fight because this is all he does. And I love how, because I ended up like crashing into a wall or something, the damage didn't even go through. Annoying. Okay. But anyway, all the silly annoyances aside, we have not used a single consumable, nor have we actually died. So that's very good. Execution will be good. Why? Because we want damage. Anything that will increase damage is good. Now, if I'm not wrong, Heroic Thrax has the ability to immediately go Aether Charged. So just remember that, because that is what they do. This will actually be the perfect time for me to do something like that. Why? Because it's a lot of free wound damage. Oh my damn, did he move? Why? Why you do this to me, Thrax, huh? You don't want to take my big slam dunks? Really? Oh, God, I hate Thrax's attacks sometimes. I really do. Now you'll notice that there's a lot of retreat and pull, and that's because this is what I do if I serious the hell up, because there's no point in attacking hard for no reason and just getting snapped. I'm pretty sure that it's 90% of the time not your idea. Hold on. I'm already starting to zone out on this fight because the pattern is the pattern is just endlessly repetitive. And now this is where the fun begins. He's gonna continuously do that shit, so like I said, this is where the whole fun begins. Now you might genuinely die, but that's okay. That's what your stims are for. Please do not waste them, okay? This stage is where it gets hard, so usually what I'll do is something like that. I'll wait for him in a wide open space, then Thrax will get lured in, and then it's easier to deal with him. Now, again, these techniques are geared for the current heroic escalations. After the chain blade change, obviously we can no longer just simply, you know, go around and do whatever the fuck we want, as much as we'd love to, and sometimes you don't get the anti-avatar of corruption perk, which would be of huge help. And this is the home stretch, so just don't do anything silly and you'll be fine. One death probably isn't as bad as you think. Usually, but you want to save your deaths for the Keystone Behemoth, so try not to die early. That's why you make full use of your Agris. Now, some of you might have questioned why I didn't use the Chronivore. It would have had a faster revive, but honestly, I like the shields on Bastion, so this is one very easy way that you can just clear that. I find that with the new Chain Blades, what you're ultimately seeking is the right balance between attack power and defense, and Bastion actually has it. So there you go. That is the completion. Escalation level 90, not a single consumable or tonic used. Okay, the only thing I used is one stim. Alright, so there you go. That's how to beat it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, you want to support the channel, you want to keep it going, drop a tip via the link in the description of the video. Send super thanks on YouTube. You can be joined as a channel member, get various perks, or purchase Asian Robot merchandise. Let me move over to the thank you scene. Thank you to December's top supporters: Bravo7910, Crampy D, Johnny Nara, FNX Killer 43, Zavi Uzumaki, Alcorn 0511, Alien Frost 80, Kazman to my lovely girl, Zach NFG, Soul Crack, Galaxy Train, Puni Puni, Rogue Assassin, Ashaz Guardsy, Lucas Graham, and I'm a Boxhead. Appreciate each and every one of you. And last but not least, here's our Throne of Honor: Puni Puni Only Fan, Nate the Great Only Fan, JP Best Prestige, Zach NFG Prestige, The Forgotten Prestige. I appreciate you all, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one, okay? Finally, I can sleep. Ha ha.